Fox's hit musical dramedy Glee made fans laugh, cry, and sing along for 6 award-winning seasons. But not all of the performers who brought the show to life are still with us today. Cory Monteith played Finn Hudson, an all-American jock with a sensitive side and soothing voice. Finn's on-again, off-again relationship with Lea Michele's Rachel Berry was the centerpiece of the show's dramatic moments, earning the affectionate portmanteau Finchel. However, Monteith came to the Glee cast with some weighty personal struggles. In a 2011 interview with Parade, the Canadian actor opened up about his battle with drugs and alcohol, which began when he was just 13 years old. By the time he was 19, Monteith's friends and family organized an intervention, after which the actor entered rehab for the first time. Unfortunately, Monteith's demons continued to haunt him throughout his 20s. According to E! Online, he entered rehab again in 2013, completing the program at the end of April. Then, on July 14th, news broke that Monteith was found dead in his Vancouver hotel room. Autopsy results revealed that the actor died of an accidental overdose of heroin and alcohol, with traces of codeine and morphine also found in his blood. The 3rd episode of the 5th season of Glee, titled The Quarterback, was dedicated to Monteith.
Everyone wants to talk about how he died too, but who cares? One moment in his whole life. I care more about how he lived.
Every show about high school needs a bad boy. For Glee, that was Mark Salling's character, Noah Puck Puckerman. Salling appeared in the show for the entirety of the series, though he was only a recurring character for its final 2 seasons. Much like Shakespeare's character of the same name, Puck was a mischief maker, albeit a lovable one. As the series' resident deviant, Puck was known for his sexual exploits and violent tendencies. Like his co-star Cory Monteith, Salling also found himself in unflattering headlines. In 2013, Salling's ex-girlfriend Roxanne Gorzella sued the Texas native, alleging he forced her to have unprotected sex. Though Salling denied the accusations, TMZ reports he paid Gorzella a settlement of $2.7 million out of court. A few months after Glee ended, Salling was arrested and charged with possession of child pornography. When authorities searched his California home, they discovered more than 50,000 images of child pornography on his computer. Salling pleaded guilty in December 2017, with sentencing set for March 2018. Likely facing several years in prison, Salling died by suicide in January 2018. He was 35 years old. Jane Lynch is one of only 5 Glee actors to star in a main role for all 6 seasons of the show. As Sue Sylvester, head coach of William McKinley High School's cheerleading squad, Lynch played the show's villain. Typically clad in a tracksuit, Sylvester stalked the halls of McKinley, instilling fear in both students and staff. Despite her edges, however, Sue also had a soft spot for Becky Jackson, a McKinley student with Down syndrome who she took under her wing. Though her affection for Becky seems out of character, viewers eventually learn that Sue has an older sister, Jean, who also has Down syndrome.
There's really only one person in the world I want to impress.
Who?
Who? You silly.
Robin Trocki, who came to Glee with no acting experience, played Jean Sylvester in 5 episodes throughout seasons 1 and 2. Trocki died in 2019 from Alzheimer's disease at the age of 63. While not a star of the series, Trocki's involvement with Glee helped raise awareness for Down syndrome in a nearly unprecedented way. For the first season of Glee, Naya Rivera played the recurring character Santana Lopez, one of Sue's top cheerleaders, before being promoted to the show's main cast in season 2. Just as Mark Salling's character filled the role of bad boy, Rivera's character served as the mean girl, though that persona softened over time. In addition to providing powerful vocals and new directions, Santana also added to the show's LGBT sensibilities. Early in the series, Santana is revealed to be bisexual, and in season 6 she marries fellow Glee Club alum Brittany Pierce. In July 2020, Rivera took her 4-year-old son on a pontoon boat in California's Lake Piru. When Rivera failed to return the rental boat at the appointed time, a team was sent to locate the boat and its passengers. When the boat was found, only Rivera's son was on board. The child told authorities that after a swim, his mother helped him back onto the boat before she slipped beneath the water's surface and disappeared. After an exhaustive and multi-day search, the Ventura County Sheriff's Office announced the discovery of Rivera's body. According to E! Online, an autopsy concluded that Rivera died as a result of accidental drowning. She was 33 years old. Billed as Ancient Librarian, Jean Sincere appeared in 3 episodes of Glee during its 1st and 2nd seasons. Her role largely consisted of either shushing or glaring at the Glee Club members as they broke into exuberant songs in her library. However, in season 1's bad reputation, the librarian responds to a performance of You Can't Touch This by suggesting that the club members recreate the song for the Sunday service at her church. The role of the Ancient Librarian was typical of Sincere's television career, which began in the late 1940s and concluded in 2012 with a guest appearance on iCarly. A trained stage actress, Sincere made her debut on Broadway in the 1941 production of Arsenic and Old Lace. and appeared in other shows before touring Europe as a part of the USO. After nearly 3 decades away from television, Sincere returned to the small screen in a 1985 episode of Cagney and Lacey, and moved into steady work as a guest player in series like Newhart, Murphy Brown, and Everybody Loves Raymond. She also made occasional forays into feature film work, the most memorable of which was her voice acting role as the elderly Mrs. Hoganson, whom Bob Parr helps with an insurance claim in The Incredibles.
I'm on a fixed income.
Sincere remained active on television and local theater into her 9th decade, and died of natural causes at the age of 93 on April 3, 2013. Though some critics were not impressed by the Rocky Horror Glee show, the Season 2 tribute to Richard O'Brien's enduring cult musical, fans of the 1975 film version were undoubtedly happy to see 2 of its stars appear in minor roles. Barry Bostwick, who played Brad in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Meat Loaf, who played Eddie in both the film and the original Broadway production, feature as managers of a local news station who plot with Sue Sylvester to produce an expose on the school play. Born Marvin Leah Day, singer Meat Loaf enjoyed chart success in 3 different decades, as well as a second career as an actor. His success on the pop and rock charts was largely anchored around the Bat Out of Hell album trilogy. Some of the hits off these records include the epically scaled Paradise by the Dashboard Light and the Grammy-winning I'd Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That. As an actor, Meat Loaf's best-known role outside of Rocky Horror was as Robert Paulson, the sympathetic ex-weightlifter in David Fincher's Fight Club. However, he also appeared in Wayne's World and The Salton Sea, and made guest spots on shows like Masters of Horror and Elementary. After experiencing several health issues in the 2000s, he died at the age of 74 in Nashville, Tennessee on January 20th, 2022. The character, Pete Sosnowski, presided in part over the 2010 Western Ohio Sectionals Championship in Season 2's Special Education. This character, played by veteran actor Mike Hagerty, is probably best known as the man who announced that the New Directions and the Warblers tied for first place at that year's competition. A Chicago native and member of its famed improv troupe, The Second City, Hagerty began appearing in minor and supporting roles in both TV and movies in the early 80s. A go-to for overworked and easily aggravated blue-collar types, Hagerty played cops, truck drivers, salesmen, and furniture movers on classic sitcoms such as Married with Children and Cheers. By the mid-90s, Hagerty had moved up to supporting roles, which included his best-known small-screen characters, grumpy building supervisor Mr. Trieger on Friends, and the owner of a vintage clothing store who butted heads with Kramer in Seinfeld. Hagerty remained active well into the new millennium, with recurring roles in Lucky Louie and Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
What the hell's going on around here?
Fire extinguisher roller chair derby?
Okay.
He also co-starred in the HBO comedy Somebody Somewhere. TMZ reported that after completing the latter show's first season, Hagerty experienced a seizure due to an adverse reaction to antibiotics and lapsed into a coma. The 67-year-old died at Los Angeles' Cedars-Sinai Medical Center on May 5, 2022. Singer and actress Olivia Newton-John parodied her own squeaky clean image in 2 appearances on Glee. In Season 1's Bad Reputation, she helped repair the damage done to Sue Sylvester's status and dignity after a bootleg video of her performing Newton-John's physical was leaked to the internet. To help Sue save face, Newton-John appeared alongside her in an almost exact duplicate of the song's original campy music video. She later returned that same season for Journey to Regionals, in which she played a self-centered judge for the New Directions performance at the competition. Born in England but raised in Australia, Newton-John enjoyed considerable success in 2 mediums throughout the 1970s and 1980s. As a singer, she earned 15 top 10 singles on Billboard's Hot 100 chart, including 5 #1 hits like I Honestly Love You and Physical. In addition to topping the charts, she also earned 12 Grammy nominations and 4 wins. Newton-John's success as a singer also led to an acting career that included the staggering box office hit Grease, which also generated 3 top 10 hits, and Xanadu. Diagnosed with breast cancer in 1992, Newton-John became a tireless advocate for research and treatment. The disease returned in 2017 and metastasized to her back and bones. Newton-John died at the age of 73 at her home in the Santa Ynez Valley in California on August 8, 2022. Emmy-winning comic actor Tim Conway joined fellow performing vets Billy D. Williams and June Squibb for Season 5's Old Dog, New Tricks. The episode, which was penned by cast member Chris Colfer, gave its 3 guest stars a few moments to shine as residents at a home for retired actors who were producing a stage version of Peter Pan. Conway began in regional television in the late 1950s before earning his first break on The Steve Allen Show. A co-starring role on McHale's Navy led to several attempts to craft the TV series around him, but Conway always seemed to fare best as a supporting player. He was a hilarious improviser who frequently reduced his castmates on The Carol Burnett Show to hysterics, and teamed with another peerless TV comic, Don Knotts, in a string of 70s features for Walt Disney Pictures. Conway was also an in-demand guest star on numerous series like Coach and 30 Rock, for which he won 2 additional Emmys. He was also a popular voiceover actor for animated projects, most notably voicing Barnacle Boy in SpongeBob SquarePants. In 2018, Conway was diagnosed with dementia due to normal pressure hydrocephalus, a condition that causes cerebrospinal fluid to build up in the brain. He died from complications from the condition at the age of 85 in Los Angeles on May 14, 2019. Best known as the creator, writer, and host of the long-running Bravo and Ovation series Inside the Actors Studio, James Lipton appeared on Glee's Season 3 finale, Goodbye. The episode, which concerned the graduation of 8 Glee Club members, saw Finn audition for Lipton in order to win a spot at the prestigious Actors Studio. That same year, Lipton also interviewed several Glee cast members and co-creator Ryan Murphy on an episode of the Actors Studio series. Inside the Actors Studio was the product of Lipton's work as the dean of the Actors Studio Drama School, a graduate program for actors that united the Actors Studio with New York's New School University. As part of its curriculum, Lipton recorded interviews with actors, directors, and writers about their crafts. These interviews began airing on Bravo in 1994, and the show's success vaulted Lipton into pop culture stardom. The host soon parlayed his success into appearances, most often as himself in series like The Simpsons and Saturday Night Live. Lipton was also an actor himself for a time, beginning his career in radio during the 1940s and making appearances on Broadway and television during the 1950s. He segued into writing for television series like The Guiding Light and specials for comedian Bob Hope, as well as several novels and Broadway musicals. He remained with the Inside the Actors Studio until 2018, earning 18 Emmy nominations during the show's 24-year run. Lipton died of bladder cancer at the age of 93 on March 2, 2020. If you or someone you know may be the victim of child abuse, please contact the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4-A-CHILD, 1-800-422-4453, or contact their live chat services.